Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I'm standing outside the murder church that I've had way too long, but it is finally done. And we've had a lot of different issues over the last way too many months trying to repair this house and get it ready, but we've gotten through all of those and still probably make a little bit of money on this property because we bought it cheap, but it has been an interesting one for sure. So of course we love the likes, comments, shares, all that great stuff, and love seeing new subscribers. We show a lot of different fix and flips we do, businesses, commercial properties, and this is one that actually had a murder committed in it about 6 months before I bought it. And I bought it from a wholesaler, and that was never mentioned to me until literally like a day before closing. But in Colorado, you don't have to disclose those types of things. Now in some states you do, but in Colorado you don't have to disclose murders or deaths in properties. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't disclose them, or it might be important to disclose them, but you don't have to legally. And what you do have to disclose is material facts. So if there are facts that greatly affect the value of a property, you're supposed to disclose those. So if you had kind of a high profile murder, kind of like the Watts situation, which was about 30 miles from here, or a different kind of high profile crime or something that everybody knows about, then you get into iffy waters on if you need to disclose it or not, because everybody knows about it, that might be considered a material fact. That could be something you should disclose. So to err on the safe side, it's good to disclose everything, but it can be a little tricky with the death and crime thing in Colorado. So this house was originally a church. I think I pulled up the information in one of my previous videos, but it was built in the early 1900s, and was it St. Michael's Church? I forget what it was, but I found some old news clippings and paper articles about the property, and then I think in the late 1990s it was sold, turned into a house. It's been a house since then. When I bought it, it still had the cross on. We took that off. I wasn't exactly sure if it's good to leave that on or off, but from the consensus of viewers, we're supposed to take that off, so we took that off. And our guys left it a little bit dirty, and I don't know where the furnace, hopefully the furnace face is around here somewhere. Oh, there it is, laying on the ground. So that's a little disappointing, but that just adds to the disappointments we've had on this property. We had to redo so many different things because they weren't done right, and we wanted to make sure they were done okay. So this floor needed a little bit more support in one area. Literally had to do it 2 different times because we weren't happy with it. Sent our guys back to do it again. We had this countertop redone because it wasn't done very well. There was some different things with the floor. It wasn't completely level, so we had to redo it again. So just over and over again, we were pretty disappointed with how some of the work was done here, and we weren't going to sell it without it being done correctly. So that's part of the reason why it took so long. We also had to add the electrical service to the house, get that redone, and that took forever for the permit process and to get Excel to do it and get that with our electrician. It took a long time. Oh, I'm just seeing that right now. That should be covered up. That shouldn't be. I don't know if you can see it open right there. So that took forever. It's just been a very, very long process. But I paid $155,000 for the property, which is so cheap. I wish I could find properties like that for that price now. And there's almost nothing for sale in our entire area for less than $300,000 right now. There might be 2 properties that are less than $300,000, and I believe they are manufactured or mobile homes, if I remember correctly. And for a while there, at the start of this year, we saw more properties come up for sale under $300,000, but those have all sold. They're all selling immediately. It seems like the market has gotten much, much stronger the last couple of months. So low inventory is decreasing again. Prices might even be, they might have dipped a tiny bit in the fall and over winter, which happens most years, right? In most normal years that happens, but they seem to be going strong, maybe even rising again. So we have not had any problem selling our properties the last couple of months, and the market is very strong. We'll see what happens with interest rates, because I believe today they're going to announce if the Fed will raise interest rates again. They've been raising them over and over and over again, but I posted some charts on my social media, Instagram, Facebook. The Invest for More is, if you want to see those, that's the name I go under. And in the past, high interest rates have never caused real estate to drop significantly. So I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive, but what happens is when rates increase, people stop selling, people stop building, and there are less houses for sale. And so if there's fewer houses for sale, it's really hard for prices to drop, even if it becomes less affordable. And yeah, again, our guys need to clean up this garage a little bit. And this is the house, the garage that was hit by a car. Yes, at some point over the winter, the car hit this garage right here, and you can see we had to replace some of the metal and a post right there, and we did find random car parts scattered throughout the yard. Never found the car, but found the car parts. So they didn't do a ton of damage, but obviously it's annoying. We had to do that, and another delay on the property. It has a really nice yard, which should help it out a ton. Kind of like 2 garage carport things, which is nice. It's got the side access here to the yard, plus it's got alley access in the back. So that'll be a nice benefit as well. So I think, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it should be worth in the $300,000 range, maybe just below. And if we can sell it for that, like I said, we've spent a lot of money on the property, remodeling it, but we still should make some money even though we've held it way too long. And we had that giant tire there. I said just to leave it. Someone wants to make a sandbox or something with it, hey, go for it. So that's the property. Another flip finished. This one took way too long. I feel like stuff has been going really slow the last year or two, but we've also had a lot of different types of projects going, so it's hard to be too frustrated with our contractors and people, just because, we had a triplex / fourplex we just finished, another triplex we're working on. There was a complex, which was a 7plex. There's an ocho, which was an 8plex. There's commercial properties. There's all kinds of different interesting things we've had going. There was the church property with 2 apartments and a separate house on it. So I feel like, oh man, it's taking so long to do just a few projects, but those projects have multiple units, are much different than what we've done before, and just it takes a lot more time to get all that figured out and all of that finished. So we're probably actually doing the same amount of remodels if you go by unit as we've done in the past, just a lot fewer properties. And at one point we had 22 flips going at once a couple of years ago, and that was way too many and way too crazy. But now we only have like 7 or 8, I think, going. So, but a lot of those are multifamily, multiple units, so that makes a difference. All right, so that's the property. We'll get it cleaned, get pictures taken. I doubt we'll stage this one. I don't think we need to stage this one. And then, I'm still looking to buy properties. I have not seen that many good deals this year, that's for sure. We've been sent out a little bit of direct marketing. Haven't seen much there. I've had wholesalers send me some stuff. Nothing is very exciting though, so I haven't really bought a whole lot, but I'm still on the lookout for residential flips, for multifamily properties, for commercial properties. And I think I've only bought 1 property this year so far, which is kind of crazy. But still looking out for properties. Oh, and someone had asked on my previous video too what invest for more means. And invest, F-O-U-R, the number 4 spelled out, more, was something I came up with for my blog back when I started my blog in 2013. And it was because I had bought rental properties, and once you buy 4 rental properties or have 4 mortgages in your name, the big banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, JP Morgan will stop lending to you. They tell you only can have 4 mortgages, that's all you can have. Well, I figured out you can go to smaller banks, credit unions, there's all kinds of other options. And so invest for more was a play on words on investing in real estate and getting more than 4 mortgages. That's how I came up with that name and why it's the number 4 in that name. And since then, it's become way easier. There's way more options to finance rental properties. There's large national rental property lenders, DSCR loans, all kinds of options that weren't available back then. So yes, I got very fortunate buying properties back in 2010 and 12 and 13 when prices were much lower. But it's also a lot trickier figuring out financing and finding banks and people who would finance those properties because so many people were still scared of another crash. So there's my small tangent. Okay. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares, of course. Love having this property finally done. Almost need to clean up a few things. And we'll have many more videos on those different multifamily properties, commercial properties, the businesses, things like that coming up here soon. Take care. Be back soon.